Good morning and welcome to Coffee with the Editor. This morning I'm with Andrew Yorke. He is the Operations Director for Metric Automotive. I've had the pleasure of walking through their comprehensively equipped heavy diesel engine component remanufacturing facility in Johannesburg. Good morning, Andrew. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning.
For those who don't know Metric Automotive, do you want to give me a little bit of a background?
Metric Automotive, family-owned business. We've been in operation for 49 years. We run an ISO quality-approved remanufacture facility for heavy diesel engine components.
Andrew, the last time we spoke and you featured in the magazine Railways Africa, you were currently at the time busy with a rebuild of two 4-meter long 12-cylinder electromotive diesel locomotive engine components. Just give me a bit more detail on the complexities involved.
We remanufacture two E&D cylinder blocks, they're for locomotives. The complexities of the repair on that is first off, a lot of these blocks have not seen a correct repair procedure in the last 40 years that they've been in operation. So there's a lot of salvaging, repair and remanufacture that is above the normal that kind of first world country repairers would see or remanufacturers would see. So there's a lot of in-depth machining, additional machining that is very complex and that can only be achieved through the equipment that we have available. Dealing with OEMs is a double-edged sword, but it suits our business. OEMs want it done to specification. They very often have repair or salvage procedures available that suit us and our equipment. So although it makes it more difficult, for us, we work into specification and we work into quality that suits us and obviously meets their needs.
And your facility meets those standards required by the OEM in order to continue with either the guarantees or the warranties?
Absolutely, yeah. We kind of exceed and we try and stay ahead of their needs to the point that we can offer them any of their remanufacturing processes and additional processes that allow us to salvage components that otherwise would not be salvageable. So
you don't just look after the rail sector, and I know this is a rail conversation, but you do look after mining and power. I mean, what does that landscape look like?
I think they all tie in, they're all interrelated, but yes, we deal with a lot of the OEMs in the mining sector, power generation sector, a bit of transport, but essentially they all interlink. The technologies across the engine ranges are very similar, and a lot of the repair procedures are very similar. It gets scaled up depending on the size of the component. So their tolerances and their needs, we can match those and exceed them. They're pretty much the same across the board.
So talking about the same across the board, what are the challenges that are faced certainly for customers who would traditionally need your services?
The biggest challenge is always cost of repair, and end users will often look at alternatives to the OEM because they deem to be more cost effective, cheaper, and it's a very short-term saving. When you work through an OEM or bring the work to us where we work into that OEM standard, you are guaranteed that component is going to conform to the specification it was designed to conform to, and you have the backup of all the technology that we offer and all the backup service that an OEM would offer if you dealt through them. Going the other route where the cheaper alternatives, you have no control over that. What are the standards? What are you going to end up with? So although it might be cheaper the first time round, you might find when you come for your second or third life overhaul or remanufacture of that component, they're no longer serviceable, and those are big ticket items that are going to have to be replaced. So whatever you really save, like 20 to 30% saving on your engineering or your remanufacture costs, why not go into an OEM?
Exchange units, the opportunities around that?
On the big components, often there are long lead times to remanufacture them. A lot of work, a lot of processes, additional processes that have to be carried out. It's not a quick turnaround. The components are very large. End users look for a quick turnaround. So I believe aligning with OEMs and stuff, they're looking at the same thing where they're offering service exchange units, which allows a customer to pull an engine or a component out of service, bring it in, immediately receive an OEM specification approved repaired or remanufactured component and put it back into service without the lead time or downtime of the repair. It's time is money, and it's giving them a quick solution, but with a guaranteed quality. And
Yes, because what's come out is not necessarily what they're getting.
so that is a big problem in the market. When you're not dealing with OEMs and you're dealing with aftermarket repairers, there's no guarantee that the component you receive is in specification. You would assume if you've taken a brand new component in and you were exchanging it, you would get a like quality component back with it that has a similar life left in it, but that's very often not the case. And that's a lot of school fees to pay.
Yeah.
Because the big components are incredibly expensive. So you think you're saving, but you're not.
Alright, so Magic would be able to offer like for like with the guarantees.
Being an ISO quality approved facility, everything we do needs to be to an OEM specification. So there's that peace of mind that the component coming out of there meets or exceeds the OEM specification. So you know that that component, whether you've dealt through an OEM or dealt directly with us, that component conforms to specification.
It also gives like some, as you said, peace of mind, because you're going to get the 6 months or the 12 months.
In some
that
cases, they're looking for 25, 30,000 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So absolutely, it's imperative. So a quick win with a little bit of cost saving here and there is a dangerous thing, and often that is driven, unfortunately, by buyers that are incentivized to buy cheap, not necessarily look further down the line, the quality impact.
Not understanding the
But
full
understand the
impact.
big picture.
Whilst your engineering capability is locally based here in South Africa, and as I said, I've had the pleasure of walking through it, how do you service the rest of Africa?
Majority of our customers are OEMs, so they have major headquarters located in South Africa, and they bring a lot of their work down. The reason for that is you cannot operate what we operate as a facility easily outside of our borders, because you could take our machine shop and put it anywhere, but all the ancillary and subcontractors that we've kind of scrutinized and approved to service us, they're not available. So you cannot offer the full service offering. So it's localized in Johannesburg, but we draw by our OEMs, and some of our big customers that have their own workshops will also draw all of their stuff back down to South Africa.
I think also the last time we spoke about some value added services. So instead of them breaking everything down, it comes to you and you fully strip the engine and clean it and then start the repair process.
We do offer that service. A lot of our customers have their own workshop, so they will do that. Some of our customers don't. We facilitate that. We do put engines back together or assemble engines, but it's not our core business. Core business is the component side, but it's the ancillaries on the chemical cleaning of the components, so that they can ensure when they rebuild that engine, it's clean. You can imagine engines that have run for 30,000 hours in a mining or a locomotive type environment are not clean on the inside nor on the outside, and it's imperative that that's clean when you start assembly. We offer some other services with regards to fuel injection systems. We offer services with cleaning of transmission and oil coolers. All of these things tie up that when you put something back together, you're going to get the expected life out of it.
What are the cost-saving aspects around salvaging major components?
It works well because it saves them money long term without jeopardizing their business and putting them at risk. So a lot of the major components have repair processes or remanufacturing process standard. That's what they're designed to do. But very often we see that there are other issues that have arisen and need remanufacture or repair. Because of the capital cost of those individual components, customers cannot afford to just throw them in the bin and replace them with new. We're not, everything is dollar or euro based, it's expensive. So we need to look at alternatives, and over the last 49 years we've developed a lot of what we call salvage repair processes that allow us to take those major components that would have been possibly scrapped elsewhere in the world and remanufacture them to a point that the quality of the repair and the longevity of the repair meets and exceeds OEM satisfaction.
So that must mean you must have some quite sophisticated equipment.
It's what came first, was it the need or the equipment? But yes, they time, absolutely. Our equipment has allowed us to offer repairs that haven't been available before. We've taken it from normal manually operated to computer operated to access. We're now on 3-axis computer controlled repair centers that are specifically designed and built for our industry. We haven't taken a general engineering machine and tried to adapt it. We're using custom manufactured machines for our industry and for the components we work on. So much so that the demand that's created for those extra special salvage repairs, we're putting in a new machine is on the water, another 3-axis machine that gives us capabilities, because it's become a huge part of our business. And it works for our OEMs because it keeps them in the game. They don't. The moment a repair on an engine or an overhaul on an engine exceeds 80% of the cost of new, the customer would rather go to new. So the challenge is to keep it below that price. And by salvaging major components, we assist.
So Andrew, the next time I see you, I'll be in your facility and having a look at some of this high-tech gear.
I look forward to having you.